In a world filled with countless connections and relationships, distinguishing between those who genuinely care and those who see you as a mere tool for their gain can often be tricky. Like a mirage in a desert, these individuals can deceive you with smiles and false promises, leaving you emotionally drained and questioning your worth. There are subtle yet powerful signs that reveal when someone is using you without concern for your well-being. In this video, we'll delve into the deceptive tactics these individuals use, from broken promises to emotional manipulation, and help you sharpen your ability to spot them. This knowledge isn't just about avoiding toxic relationships. It's about protecting your emotional health and surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. Before we begin, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. We'll unpack these essential lessons to help you navigate relationships more clearly and confidently. Stay tuned, and let's dive into the signs that someone might be using you, hidden beneath the surface of their interactions. 1. Failure to fulfill promises. One of the most evident signs that someone is using you is their consistent failure to follow through on promises. These individuals are often skilled with their words, painting elaborate pictures of commitment and support, but when it comes time to act, they vanish, leaving you disappointed and disillusioned. Though grand in their delivery, their promises are hollow, mere tools of manipulation meant to build trust and keep you invested in the relationship. Over time, a pattern emerges. When you need them the most, they're nowhere to be found, and this absence becomes more than just an annoyance. It's a window into their true intentions. They're not interested in mutual support or genuine connection. Instead, they use promises to gain your trust without ever intending to reciprocate. This failure is more than just a breach of trust. It's a tactic. They reveal their disregard for the relationship's emotional depth by continually breaking promises. In a healthy relationship, words and actions align, creating a foundation of trust. But when someone consistently fails to fulfill promises, it becomes a red flag, signaling that their interest in you is transactional, not genuine. Recognizing this pattern is crucial. It helps you protect your emotional investment and serves as a guide to seek out relationships built on mutual respect, trust, and sincerity. 2. Unilateral benefit. A key sign that someone is using you is the one-sided nature of your relationship, where the benefits seem to flow only in one direction, their direction. Whether it's financial, emotional, or practical support, you always give while they take without offering anything in return. These individuals often borrow money, seek favors, or lean on you for validation, yet they're mysteriously absent or too busy when the roles are reversed. This dynamic mirrors a parasitic relationship where they thrive on your resources, time, energy, or emotional support, without replenishing what they take. Over time, you may feel drained, realizing that while you're constantly there for them, they rarely reciprocate when you need support. The relationship becomes exhausting, leaving you unfulfilled and often questioning your worth. What drives this behavior is simple self-interest. They view the relationship as not a mutual exchange but a transaction where they take as much as possible while giving as little. Their lack of empathy and genuine care indicates they're not in the relationship for shared growth or support but solely for what they can gain. Recognizing this pattern is essential to avoid being taken advantage of. A healthy relationship is built on balance, where both parties contribute and support each other. If you constantly feel shortchanged and emotionally exhausted, it's time to reassess whether this relationship truly benefits you or drains you. 3. Disregard for your needs or feelings. When someone consistently ignores or dismisses your emotions and needs, it's a sign that they use you without genuine care for your well-being. In these relationships, their desires always take priority, leaving your feelings sidelined or outright neglected. Whether failing to offer support during tough times or brushing off your achievements, they create a dynamic where your emotional needs are invisible. This disregard often manifests subtly, Perhaps they change the subject when you express something essential or show little interest in your struggles. Over time, this behavior sends a clear message: your feelings don't matter. By minimizing your emotions and needs, they maintain control and ensure the relationship revolves around them. The result is a relationship where you feel undervalued and unheard, trapped in a situation where your voice is stifled. This emotional neglect isn't just a sign of insensitivity. It's a calculated way of keeping you dependent and less likely to challenge your dominance. Recognizing this pattern is crucial for your emotional health. Relationships are meant to be nurturing, where both people feel supported and valued. If your needs are constantly ignored, it's a red flag that the relationship is not balanced and may be built on self-interest rather than mutual care. Setting boundaries and prioritizing your emotional well-being are critical steps toward protecting yourself from this manipulation. 4. Diminishing or disdainful comments. Another revealing sign of someone who only uses you is their tendency to make diminishing or disdainful comments. These remarks often come disguised as jokes or casual banter, but beneath the surface, they carry a sting designed to undermine your confidence. Whether they trivialize your successes or mock your aspirations, these comments slowly chip away at your self-esteem. It's a subtle yet effective form of control. By belittling your achievements or showing indifference to your struggles, they position themselves above you, ensuring you remain in self-doubt. This imbalance allows them to manipulate you more efficiently, as your weakened self-worth makes you more reliant on their approval. The truth is that these negative comments often reflect their insecurities. They hide their vulnerabilities and create a false sense of superiority by making you feel small. This behavior is not just a passing habit. It's a calculated effort to keep you in a position of emotional dependence. Recognizing this pattern is vital for protecting your self-worth. Once you see through their facade of charm, you can begin to distance yourself from their influence, setting boundaries that protect your emotional well-being. Healthy relationships should uplift and support you, not tear you down with disguised hostility. 5. Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is one of the most insidious tactics used by someone who wants to control you for their gain. At first, they may seem caring and attentive, but their true intentions surface over time. They begin to play with your emotions, praising you when it suits them, and then suddenly criticizing or undermining you to create confusion and self-doubt. This push-pull dynamic is designed to keep you off balance, constantly seeking their approval. Like a puppet master, they know exactly which emotional strings to pull, whether it's guilt, fear, or insecurity, to make you feel responsible for their feelings. This manipulation often leaves you feeling anxious and dependent, unsure of yourself, and always craving the validation they once freely gave. This behavior aims to keep you emotionally attached while they maintain control over the relationship. They want you to feel your worth depends on their approval, ensuring you remain vulnerable to their influence. Identifying emotional manipulation is essential for reclaiming your sense of self. Healthy relationships should foster mutual growth and respect, not keep you in constant emotional turmoil. By recognizing the manipulative patterns, you can take steps to regain control of your emotional well-being and establish boundaries that protect you from being used. 6. Constant competition. In a relationship where someone uses you, there's often an unspoken, relentless competition. Instead of celebrating your achievements or supporting your personal growth, they treat your successes as threats. Whether it's your professional accomplishments, individual milestones, or even your everyday decisions, they always seem to find a way to one-up you or make you feel as though they are superior. This competitive attitude can manifest in subtle ways. Perhaps they minimize your achievements by comparing them to their own or make offhand comments that shift the focus back onto themselves. They might also undermine your efforts, suggesting that your goals are insignificant or trying to outshine you in group settings. Their need to stay ahead in this imaginary race stems from deep-seated insecurity, where their self-worth is measured by how much they surpass others, especially you. Engaging in such a dynamic can be emotionally draining. Instead of mutual growth and encouragement, the relationship becomes a battlefield where every step forward you take is met with resistance or dismissal. This constant competition erodes the possibility of a genuine partnership and replaces it with a sense of rivalry. Understanding this behavior is crucial. Authentic relationships are built on mutual respect, not competition. Suppose you find yourself in a situation where you're constantly being pitted against someone who should be your supporter. In that case, it's time to reassess the nature of the relationship and whether it genuinely benefits your well-being. 7. Absence in critical moments. One of the most telling signs that someone is using you is their absence when you need them most. They may seem fully engaged in the relationship when everything is going smoothly. Still, they suddenly disappear when difficulties arise. A personal crisis, a professional setback, or emotional turmoil. Their support, readily available during more leisurely times, evaporates when you face challenges. This selective absence isn't a coincidence. These individuals only stick around when it benefits them when the emotional cost is low. When the relationship requires real effort, sacrifice, or empathy, they withdraw, leaving you to navigate challenging times alone. Their presence is purely opportunistic, and their absence during critical moments reveals their true priorities, themselves. Being left unsupported in crucial moments can feel like a betrayal. It forces you to reevaluate the relationship and ask whether their involvement is genuine or merely a facade for self-serving purposes. The people who genuinely care about you will stand by your side in good times and bad, while those who only use you will vanish at the first sign of adversity. Recognizing this pattern of disappearing during your times of need is a critical step in identifying unhealthy relationships. Actual bonds are measured by consistent support, not convenience. If someone can't be there when it matters most, it's a sign that their commitment to the relationship is superficial, and it may be time to distance yourself from their influence. 8. Lack of genuine support. A major red flag in any relationship is when the support you receive feels superficial or non-existent. Someone who is only using you will often feign interest in your goals or struggles, offering shallow encouragement or half-hearted gestures of support. However, when you truly need them, during a personal crisis or a challenging moment, they're either absent or unwilling to lend meaningful help. This lack of genuine support goes beyond mere neglect. It reflects their self-centered nature. Their involvement in the relationship is calculated. They're present only when it benefits them and vanishes when the situation demands real effort or sacrifice on their part. You might notice that while they offer a quick, "good luck," or "I'm sure you'll be fine," their actions rarely back up their words when you're genuinely in need. In a healthy relationship, support is a two-way street. You should be able to rely on each other through good and bad times. But when someone's help evaporates at the first sign of difficulty, it becomes clear that their interest lies only in what they can take, not what they can give. Recognizing this pattern of empty gestures is vital for understanding the true nature of your connection. If you feel unsupported, it's a sign that the relationship lacks the mutual care and commitment needed to thrive. By acknowledging this imbalance, you can focus on fostering connections where support is genuine, reciprocal, and unconditional. 9. Lack of reciprocity. A one-sided relationship is one of the most evident signs of someone using you. In such relationships, you always put in the effort, initiating conversations, offering support, or making plans, while they contribute little to nothing in return. Over time, this imbalance becomes exhausting as you pour your time, energy, and emotional resources into a relationship that gives you very little back. This lack of reciprocity is not accidental. The person using you views the relationship as a tool for their benefit. They are happy to receive your help, attention, and care, but they have no intention of reciprocating when you need the same in return. Their interest in the relationship is transactional. They'll take as long as you're willing to give, but when the time comes for them to give back, they're either unavailable or disinterested. A healthy relationship thrives on balance and mutual support, where individuals invest in each other's well-being. But when one person is constantly giving and the other is only taking, it becomes clear that the relationship is draining rather than nourishing. Recognizing this pattern of one-sidedness is essential. It's important to evaluate whether you're being appreciated and valued, or simply being used for what you offer. By acknowledging this imbalance, you can protect your energy and prioritize relationships grounded in mutual respect, support, and genuine care. 10. Gossip and breach of trust. A person who uses others often has little regard for confidentiality or trust. One of their most damaging behaviors is spreading gossip or revealing private information you confidently share. At first, they may seem like a trusted confidant, pulling you into conversations where they share details about others, creating a false sense of closeness. However, the other side of this behavior is more sinister. They treat your personal information as currency to manipulate or gain favor with others. This betrayal of trust is more than just careless talk. It's a calculated tactic. They seek to erode your sense of security and foster mistrust by sharing your private matters. They aim to maintain control and position themselves as the ones holding the power, all while disregarding their actions' personal impact on you. Such behavior reveals a fundamental lack of respect for you and your boundaries. When someone is willing to exploit your trust for their gain, it shows that they do not value the relationship or the emotional safety that comes with it. Recognizing this pattern of gossip and betrayal is crucial for protecting your emotional well-being. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship, and when that trust is broken, it becomes impossible to sustain a meaningful connection. By being aware of how they treat your private information, you can set firm boundaries and distance yourself from those who view relationships as tools for manipulation rather than bonds built on mutual respect and integrity. 11. Making you feel guilty. One of the more subtle ways someone can manipulate you is by making you feel guilty. They are experts at twisting situations to tap into your sense of responsibility, empathy, or fairness, making you feel obligated to meet their needs. Whether it's reminding you of past favors, implying that you owe them, or framing requests so that refusing would make you seem uncaring or selfish, they expertly use guilt to get what they want. This tactic often starts small, maybe a simple favor here or there, but gradually escalates as they realize they can exploit your kindness. Over time, you find your boundaries eroding, constantly agreeing to things you'd instead not do simply because you don't want to feel guilty or be perceived as unsupportive. This manipulation is particularly damaging because it distorts your natural desire to help others, turning it into a tool for their control. You do things not because you genuinely want to, or because it's reciprocal, but because you feel trapped in a cycle of guilt. Recognizing when someone uses guilt to manipulate you is vital for maintaining emotional boundaries. Healthy relationships should be built on mutual respect and free choice, not obligation or guilt. By being mindful of these tactics, you can protect your well-being and ensure your kindness is never taken advantage of again. 12. Lack of personal interest. A clear indicator that someone is using you is their lack of genuine interest in your life. Conversations with them are often one-sided, focusing entirely on their stories, problems, and achievements. When the spotlight shifts to you, they quickly lose interest, change the subject, or offer dismissive responses. Your experiences seem to hold little value to them, no matter how significant. This behavior isn't simply a matter of poor conversation skills. It's a deliberate signal of their priorities. They aren't invested in building a meaningful connection with you. Instead, they view you as an audience for their needs and concerns. Your role in their life is to listen, validate, and provide support while they remain disengaged when it's your turn to share. Over time, this dynamic can leave you feeling invisible and insignificant. In a healthy relationship, there should be a balanced exchange of interest and care, where both parties actively engage in each other's lives. When someone consistently shows no interest in your thoughts, feelings, or experiences, it becomes clear that they are not in the relationship for mutual connection. Recognizing this lack of personal interest is crucial for understanding the true nature of your interactions. Relationships should be built on reciprocity, where both people feel valued and heard. Find that your conversations are always one-sided and your life is an afterthought. It may be time to reevaluate the relationship and seek more meaningful mutual connections. 13. Superficial closeness. Superficial closeness is another sign that someone may be using you. At first glance, the relationship may appear deep and meaningful. They engage in regular conversations, share laughter, and seem to connect with you on a personal level. However, when you look closer, you'll notice that this closeness is surface level. While they might enjoy the perks of your friendship or connection, they are quick to distance themselves when real effort, sacrifice, or vulnerability is required. These individuals often mimic the behaviors of close friends or committed partners, but their actions lack the depth of actual emotional investment. They may show up for the fun times, but when you need real support, during struggles or challenging moments, they're conspicuously absent. Their involvement in your life is transactional, based on convenience rather than a genuine desire for connection. True closeness is built on trust, reliability, and shared vulnerability. But in these relationships, plans are casually broken, promises go unfulfilled, and their support is shallow. This lack of genuine commitment reveals their true intention: to keep the relationship as light and unburdened as possible while still enjoying the benefits it provides. Recognizing superficial closeness is crucial for ensuring your emotional well-being. Genuine relationships are about more than just casual connections. They require mutual effort and commitment. If someone consistently offers only a shallow level of involvement, it's a sign that they're not genuinely invested in your well-being. Seeking relationships with real emotional depth will lead to more fulfilling and authentic connections. 14. Selective availability. A clear sign that someone is using you is when their availability is highly selective, convenient for them but rarely for you. In this dynamic, you're always ready to lend a hand, offer support, or make time for them, but when you need them, they're nowhere to be found. Their responses to your texts are delayed, calls go unanswered, and your requests for help are often met with excuses or outright neglect. This selective availability is not about them being genuinely busy. It's a deliberate choice. They engage with you only when it benefits them, ensuring their needs are met while keeping their involvement minimal. By controlling their availability, they maintain power in the relationship, ensuring you're always reaching out, making an effort, or waiting for their attention. This imbalance creates a frustrating and emotionally draining environment where you feel undervalued and taken for granted. In healthy relationships, both people make time for each other, and availability is not contingent on convenience, but on mutual care and respect. Recognizing this pattern is essential to reclaiming your emotional balance. Relationships should not be one-sided, where only one person is always present. If you constantly find yourself waiting for scraps of attention or feeling like your needs are an afterthought, it's a sign that this relationship is built on selfish terms, and it may be time to reassess its value in your life. 15. Persistent lack of respect. A consistent lack of respect is one of the most telling signs that someone is using you. This disrespect can show up in various ways, whether it's through belittling comments, dismissive attitudes, or constantly overstepping your boundaries. Unlike a one-time lapse in judgment, this behavior is a recurring pattern woven into your interactions with them. People who use others often rely on subtle and overt disrespect to maintain control. They might make condescending remarks about your ideas, downplay your achievements, or ignore your feelings. These actions aren't accidental. They're deliberate attempts to keep you feeling small and insignificant, ensuring they always have the upper hand in the relationship. What's most harmful about this dynamic is its toll on your self-esteem. Over time, constant disrespect erodes your sense of self-worth, making you question your value in the relationship. It's emotionally exhausting and leaves little room for growth or mutual respect. Understanding and recognizing this persistent lack of respect is essential. Healthy relationships are built on a foundation of equality, where individuals honor each other's dignity and boundaries. If you're constantly subjected to disrespect, it's a strong indicator that the other person sees you as a means to an end rather than an equal partner. Reclaiming your self-respect by setting firm boundaries or stepping away from the relationship is critical to protecting your emotional well-being and fostering healthier connections. Conclusion: in relationships, recognizing when someone is using you is crucial for your emotional well-being and personal growth. From broken promises and constant competition to emotional manipulation and a persistent lack of respect, these behaviors reveal the true intentions of individuals who focus more on what they can gain than mutual support. When you start seeing the signs, such as diminishing comments, selective availability, or a lack of genuine support, it's time to reassess whether the relationship is truly serving you. Healthy connections are built on trust, respect, and reciprocity. They nurture your emotional and mental health, not drain them. By identifying these red flags early on, you can protect yourself from one-sided relationships that only leave you feeling used and undervalued. If you find yourself in a relationship where these behaviors are present, take action. Set boundaries, distance yourself, and prioritize relationships that bring positivity and mutual growth into your life. Investing your time and energy into people who uplift you, not those who use you for their benefit, is essential. Thank you for watching this video. If you found these insights helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel for more content on building healthy, meaningful relationships. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more videos, and remember, you deserve relationships that enrich your life, not ones that drain it.